Hey everybody, today's Monday. Oh, let's see. Where should I start? We're broke down. Last week, Thursday, it's Thursday night. Mark was out skidding wood and he's a skidder operator. I just do the hand cutting and run the harvester and whatever else, but he runs the skidder and the rest of the business. But anyways, he was out skidding wood on Thursday night and just got done putting wood on the deck, drove out to go pick up some more wood, went to pick up the bucket off the back of the machine, and the whole boom came off of the machine where you got your main one that goes up off the mast, and then you got your stick that comes out, and there's like a wishbone in there, and you got your next arm that's got a squirt boom inside of it, and then the bucket attaches to that. Well, that second arm that comes off up by the wishbone, an ear broke off that holds a pin in. We don't know when it broke off, but it must have, it's solidly welded on to the boom, and the pin eventually worked its way out and it fell out, and he went to raise the boom up and the whole thing fell apart out in the woods. So today we gotta go disassemble it and put it on another boom that he went and picked up in Michigan on Friday. We're lucky to even find parts because it's getting real hard to find parts for those old Valmets. We're gonna have to do we gotta break it all down and take all the metal lines off of it, take the brackets off, and then re-weld them on to the new boom, put it all back together. It's probably going to take us a few days, I would imagine. It's going to be a project. The last whole entire month of December was a revolving door of breakdowns. It was a rough month. We still got wood out, but it was a rough month. We'll just keep it at that. Yeah. And then that 441, I guess let's talk about the 441. So I got to cut with it for a day, basically, and it seemed like it was sucking a lot of gas, but I think what was going on, it was running out of gas early, and it's got a decent sized tank in it, and there's still a good amount of gas left in the tank, I'm thinking, because if I was running the saw and I'd get past a half a tank, it would start running funky on me like it was running out of gas and it would die. So I used it the rest of the day that way, basically, because it ran good when it was full. Ended up trying to take the fuel filter out of it, and the line, I couldn't even pull the line out of the tank to get the fuel filter off because it was so stiff from probably sitting in its position that it was in for so long, baking in the sun when it was in the ditch. So I ended up ordering a line for it, and I got it all put back together and found out that I'm going to need some AV mounts for it, those rubber bushings that go between the tank body and the actual case itself. I got to order some of those because I found that when I took it apart, they just completely fell apart like mashed potatoes. They're rotten from sitting in the weather. But I haven't gotten a chance to use it. I've been wanting to use it, but I haven't gotten a chance because we broke down. So eventually here, I'll get some more video up of that saw running. first impressions, it's no 372, not even a factory one. You know, it just ain't got that bottom end power, and it's nowhere near a 461. Of course, there's no replacement for displacement. You know, 72 cc's compared to 77. You know, that's a big difference. And yeah, the 372 is like 70 cc's, but it's a big difference. You gotta wind it out to get the power out of it, which is, it's there. Just gotta run it differently, that's all. And I'm not knocking steel saws or nothing like that either, because I've run steel saws in the past, and steel saws are great. All the steel saws I run back then were older steel saws. So the filtration wasn't the best. Our steel dealer is not very logger friendly. They don't cater to loggers very well. Homeowners, sure, they stock parts for all that stuff and whatever else, and some logging stuff, you know, they got loggers tapes and all that other crap. But I've been ordering everything online, try and get stuff in bulk so I have it on hand. And what ended up happening for me going from steel to Husqvarna was I found the Bayou Country Husqvarna, the one that Kenzie built, in a pawn shop. I got it dirt cheap. I got a really good deal on it, and I started running that saw when I started having a lot of problems with my 044. And I was into some real big wood at that time, and I needed a good sized saw to run. I didn't want to keep running the 038 Supers, you know. So I went and run that Husqvarna 372. That's the X-Torque, you know. And I ended up liking it, and I ordered a bunch of parts for it just to have on hand. So that's what led me down that loophole of the Husqvarna. That saw started getting, I couldn't tell you how much wood I cut with it. I couldn't even begin to tell you, but I cut a lot of wood with that saw, and it started getting, I don't know, if it felt a little tired. I was noticing it. So I ended up getting to save up enough to where I could buy a brand new saw, and I bought another brand new 372. And as soon as I did that, I sent that old one off to Kenzie. And it still ran good and everything, you know, but he turned that saw into an absolute monster. That's no BS. That thing runs great. With the cold weather that we have right now, I've got to take in, I don't know if it's the oil I use or what it is for my premix, but I got to take and pull that saw over slow a few times to loosen it up, otherwise I'll destroy the recoil on it. There's no decompression on there, and it's like it's like pulling over a couple of 372s at the same time than just the one. It's got a lot of compression. And I do know that the oil I use leaves a lot of residue on the piston, and when it's cold you gotta break that little bit of residue that's on there, otherwise it ain't gonna turn over. That's with any saw, but this one here's got a lot of compression to begin with. And I guess if you want to say of me doing a review on it, I've put quite a few hours and a lot of tanks on that saw already. He built it a lot hotter than he expected it to, and I agree with that, but it's still strong, and it hauls ass and sucks gas. I get about, I don't know, 25 minutes to a tank of gas, as to where originally with the factory 370. Sorry about that, video cut out. But with the factory 372, I could get about 45 minutes to a tank of gas. And I started out running that saw with a 20-inch bar on there, and I told him that I'm pretty sure that that thing's pulling probably 14,000 RPMs, running rich the way it was yet. So I turned it down a little bit. Don't need all that. I want it to last, you know. So I turned it down a little bit, and then I bought that tack. I've thrown a 24-inch bar on there to try and slow the engine down, and it pulls that 24-inch bar like a 20, and I guarantee you, I bet you it would pull a 28 the same way. But I bought that tack. I put that tack on there. If anybody wants any information on that tack, it logs your hours, your job hours. It logs your all-time hours on the machine, and it tells you your RPMs idling all the way up to wide open, and it refreshes pretty fast. I got it off of eBay. I guess if you want, I can give you information on it if you want. But I bought that tack, put it on there, and it's running about 13.5 wide open, 4-stroking, and pulling through wood. It's running anywhere from 10,000 to 11.5, and that's letting the saw, you know, do the work. Sharp chain, pretty aggressive filing on it, you know, and dogged in a little bit here and there, anywhere between 10 and 11.5. It's not working. It's not working very hard at all. So he built a hell of a saw for me, and I'm really impressed with it. So as far as review goes, he knows what he's doing. I did send another saw to him, my old 044 that is down there, and we're going to see what kind of a beast he can build out of that. I think that's going to be pretty awesome too. We're thinking about doing a 044 460 hybrid build, and it's going to be a roaring monster. Sorry, I'm kind of spacing out here. I'm at some stoplights, just waiting on some traffic. But I am almost to my destination, but I just want to let everybody know what's going on. And I'll see y'all on the next one.